The crowd at Florida International University was invite only, and most were Venezuelans eager for a change in a country many have fled. In a wide-ranging speech, President Trump said Venezuela's path to democracy was irreversible, and he had a simple message for the country's military leaders.
The eyes of the entire world are upon you today, every day, and every day in the future. You cannot hide from the choice that now confronts you. You can choose to accept President Guaido's generous offer of amnesty to live your life in peace with your families and your countrymen. President Guaido does not seek retribution against you, and neither do we.
Outside, students gathered to either show their support or protest what some see as unnecessary interference. But for those who have a close affiliation with Venezuela, Trump's message resonated.
There's no food, there's people eating dogs, and there's even cases where people go to the zoo and eat animals from there. It's horrible. So there needs to be something done, especially since the recent elections, the Venezuelan people decided that they don't want him anymore. They want change.
It's a lot of countries around the world are saying, hey, this is enough. It's a dictatorship. There's nothing democratic about what's happened in Venezuela in the past 20 years, and it should be called out as so.
Instrumental in Trump's push to remove Nicolas Maduro is Florida Senator Marco Rubio. He just returned from a trip to the Colombian border, where humanitarian aid is being blocked by the Venezuelan authorities.
What is happening here today, what is happening in Venezuela, is a man-made crisis of epic proportions. Not caused by a natural disaster, but by a man-made one. A criminal regime that is willing to starve and kill its own people before it gives up power.
It's clear that the Trump administration is ramping up pressure on Nicolas Maduro, but the president also railed against an ideology he sees as an evil force across the Americas.
Socialism, by its very nature, does not respect borders. It does not respect boundaries or the sovereign rights of its citizens or its neighbors.
The president's speech here is being seen in two distinct ways. For exiled Venezuelans desperate for change, it's a genuine effort to end what many see as a brutal dictatorship. For others, this was Trump on the campaign trail, keen to win over Florida's Latin voters and label his Democratic opponents as socialists. Either way, there's a lot at stake for the people of Venezuela. Andy Gallacher, Al Jazeera, Miami, Florida.